lot of people get stuck with the same question when it's time to buy a Samsung. Which one should I go for? The Galaxy S25 FE, the S25 Edge, or the S25 Ultra? Which Samsung actually gives me the most value for my money? The problem is that when you look at the spec sheet, they all seem amazing. Powerful AMOLED displays, solid cameras, excellent performance, 5G connectivity, great battery life, and you end up feeling like any of them could do the job. But then you look at the prices, and the difference is huge. If this video showed up for you today, it's not by accident. The goal here isn't to say that one is good and the others are bad, because honestly, all three are already at an excellent level. The real question is different. Which one makes the most sense for your type of use and your budget? Today, I'll explain, in a simple and honest way, who the S25 FE is really made for, when it's worth upgrading to the S25 Edge, and what kind of user truly benefits from the full power of the S25 Ultra. Before we start the comparison, take a second to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. That helps me keep bringing this kind of content. Also, comment below which phone you prefer, or which one you're currently using and how your experience has been. That really helps other people who are still deciding. And of course, all the Amazon links with updated prices and promotions are right here in the video description, so you can compare while watching and avoid wasting money. For those who want a complete Samsung focused on social media, streaming, casual gaming, and good photo quality, the S25 FE, priced at $534, handles all of that easily. That's why it's the most balanced entry point in this comparison. The Galaxy S25 FE comes with Android 16 running One UI 8, 8GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, and a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a resolution of 2340 by 1080 pixels and a 120 Hz refresh rate. The battery has 4,900 mAh of capacity. It supports 5G, Bluetooth, NFC, Wi-Fi, USB Type-C, dual SIM, water resistance, and both fast and wireless charging. For cameras, it has a triple rear setup with sensors of 50, 12, and 8 megapixels and a 12 megapixel front camera. In terms of size and feel, the S25 FE is a large phone, but still manageable for most people in everyday use. The 6.7-inch display, with its slightly elongated format, makes it comfortable for those with bigger hands or thicker fingers, giving you plenty of room to type, play, and swipe without everything feeling cramped. For smaller hands, it might start to feel a bit big, but it's still a phone you can get used to quickly. Most people just end up using both hands, resting it in one and navigating with the other. At the same time, it's not as huge as the Ultra, so you can still hold it on the couch with one hand while tapping with the other, without constantly feeling like it's about to slip. The touch sensitivity is excellent, and because it doesn't have aggressive curved edges, accidental side touches are very rare. When it comes to display quality, the dynamic AMOLED 2X with 120 Hz refresh rate is fantastic for content consumption. For movies and shows on streaming apps, you get vivid colors, deep blacks, and brightness strong enough to watch comfortably both in a dark room and a well-lit space. In sports, especially during World Cup matches next year, the 120 Hz refresh rate helps keep motion smooth, so the ball moving across the field and the camera panning don't leave that blurry trail. For YouTube, game highlights, reviews, or 4K videos downscaled to full HD, the experience is very pleasant. In short, it might not be the best display in the entire lineup, but it's already flagship level for almost everyone. In gaming, this setup is more than capable of running Genshin Impact, Honkai, Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG, Fortnite, and eFootball with very good performance, especially if you keep graphics between medium and high. It's not designed for people who demand everything on ultra settings all the time, but for anyone who plays 1 or 2 hours a day, it holds up smoothly. The key point is that it keeps the frame rate stable without stuttering every time the screen fills with effects. In daily use, with 8GB of RAM and the optimized One UI system, the S25 FE handles TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, browsers with multiple tabs, and banking or map apps very well. You can switch between apps fluidly without feeling like the phone is struggling to keep up. It's built for people who want something full-featured but still want to keep their budget under control. In photography, the S25 FE performs impressively. During the day, under good lighting, photos are sharp, colorful, and well-balanced, ready to post straight to Instagram or WhatsApp without editing. At night, it depends more on night mode, but still handles well-lit streets, restaurants, concerts, and indoor scenes. The 12-megapixel front camera is great for selfies, video calls, and stories. For video, it records in Full HD at 60 frames per second. That's more than enough for Reels, TikTok, Shorts, and Vlogs, since those platforms compress videos anyway. Stabilization and overall image quality are solid, especially in well-lit environments. As for battery life, the 4,900 mAh capacity easily lasts a typical day of mixed use with social media, a few gaming sessions, video playback, and productivity apps. If you push it with long Genshin sessions or maximum brightness streaming, you might need a quick top-up at the end of the day, but overall it's well balanced for most users. So, the S25 FE is the perfect choice for anyone who wants to enter the S25 family while spending less. With a large, comfortable screen for gaming, movies, and sports, strong cameras, and reliable performance that won't let you down in daily use. If you value a more immersive display for watching series, football matches, or gaming, but don't want to jump straight to the massive size of the Ultra, the S25 Edge, priced at $788, fits perfectly in that middle ground. The S25 Edge comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, 5G support, dual SIM, 4G and 5G connectivity, an AMOLED display, and a clear focus on mobile photography, gaming, professional work, and everyday use. The main highlight on the spec sheet is its 200-megapixel main camera capable of 4K video recording, combined with a generous amount of memory and storage. In terms of size and handling, the Edge follows that classic curved-edge smartphone design. It's a tall device with a large screen, typical of modern flagships, but the thinner sides and the curved format give it a more elegant grip. For people with larger hands, it fits comfortably because it's not excessively wide, allowing you to hold it firmly with one hand and navigate with the other. For smaller hands or thicker fingers, the screen still offers plenty of room to type and play, but it's the kind of phone you'll probably end up using with both hands for extra stability. Because of the curved sides, users who hold the phone too close to the edges might experience a few accidental touches at first, until they get used to resting their hands a bit farther back. On the other hand, when watching videos or gaming, this Edge display gives that floating image effect that many people really enjoy. As for display quality, the Edge also delivers a high-end AMOLED panel with rich colors, deep contrast, and a fast refresh rate. For binge-watching shows, watching movies at night, or following sports and World Cup matches on streaming apps, it provides a sharp image, excellent detail in the field, uniforms, and crowd, without that washed-out look common in cheaper displays. For YouTube and high-resolution videos, it looks truly premium. With its strong brightness levels, it's also comfortable to use outdoors, allowing you to follow games or live streams in daylight without too much glare. In practice, those 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage place the Edge on a higher level of smoothness. In gaming, it performs very well with Genshin Impact, Honkai, Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG, Fortnite, and eFootball on high settings, offering solid frame rates and fewer FPS drops compared to mid-tier phones. If you're someone who spends several hours a day gaming or likes to switch between games, Discord, browser, and social media at the same time, that extra memory makes a real difference. In everyday tasks, the combination of RAM and storage translates into a highly comfortable experience. You can keep multiple apps open simultaneously, switch between work tools, productivity apps, banking, social media, and video platforms without feeling the system struggle. It's clearly designed for users who treat their smartphone as both a work and entertainment tool. The 200-megapixel rear camera is its standout feature. In daylight, it delivers incredible resolution, capturing fine details in landscapes, cityscapes, signs, and textures. It's the kind of sensor that lets you crop into photos without losing much quality. At night, combined with Samsung's image processing, it handles city lights, neon signs, concerts, and high-contrast scenes very well. It feels like a phone made for people who genuinely enjoy serious photography. For video, the S25 Edge records in 4K, which is excellent for Reels, TikTok, Shorts, and YouTube. You get crisp, detailed footage with a professional look when viewed on larger screens. One important note is that, according to the spec sheet, the Edge doesn't list water resistance like the FE and Ultra. So if you tend to be clumsy around rain, pools, or spilled drinks, it's worth being extra careful. In short, the S25 Edge is a well-balanced middle ground. It offers more RAM and storage than the FE, a powerful 200-megapixel main camera, a large and immersive curved display, and a clear focus on users who want to game, create content, and work on the same device, without yet reaching the Ultra's higher price range. If your goal is to buy a Samsung that will last for several years, with plenty of headroom for performance, camera quality, display, and battery life, but also one that can handle work, content creation, editing, and gaming at full power, then the S25 Ultra, priced at $1,057, is the model in this lineup designed to be your long-term main device. The S25 Ultra comes with Android 15, 12 GB of RAM, 512 GB of storage, a Snapdragon processor running at 4.47 GHz, and a 6.9-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 3120 by 1440 pixels and a refresh rate of 120 Hz. The battery has 5,000 mAh of capacity. It supports 5G, dual SIM, water resistance, USB Type-C, fast and wireless charging, includes the S Pen in the box, and features a 12-megapixel front camera and a quad rear setup with a 50-megapixel main sensor. For video, it can record up to 8K with frame rate options of 30, 60, or 120 frames per second, depending on the resolution. In terms of size and ergonomics, this is where the experience changes. The S25 Ultra is truly large. The 6.9-inch screen, high resolution, and heavier body make it the best of the three for consuming content, studying, reading, editing photos and videos, and gaming on a big, expansive display. For users with large hands or thicker fingers, it's almost perfect. There's plenty of room to type. Use the S Pen, drag elements, and tap small icons without bumping into everything. For smaller hands, it clearly falls into the mini tablet category. You can use it, but most of the time, you'll be holding it with both hands or resting it on a surface, on the couch, desk, or lap. It's not designed for comfortable one-handed use, but in exchange, you get the most generous and precise screen in the lineup. When it comes to display quality, the Ultra is the one that truly impresses. The resolution is higher, pixel density is greater, and the AMOLED panel is Samsung's top tier. For watching movies and shows on Netflix, Prime, Disney, or other platforms, the sharpness is incredible. You can see skin texture, lighting, and set details with outstanding clarity. For sports, especially next year's World Cup, this screen is ideal. The field's color, the fans, and the uniforms all appear extremely detailed, while the 120 Hz refresh rate keeps camera and ball movement perfectly smooth. On YouTube, 4K videos, match analyses, tech content, and creator videos all look more premium simply because of the display. If you spend a lot of time watching content on your phone, the Ultra is by far the most enjoyable option. In gaming, the S25 Ultra is simply the strongest device in the series. The flagship Snapdragon chip, paired with 12 GB of RAM and a large 120 Hz display, allows Genshin Impact, Honkai, Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG, Fortnite, and eFootball to run on high graphics with stable FPS. It's the kind of phone you set everything to maximum, and it handles it easily. If you demand top performance, play long sessions, and don't want frame drops, this is where you'll see the biggest difference. In daily tasks, the Ultra has power to spare. TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, dozens of browser tabs, banking apps, maps, photo and video editing. It handles everything simultaneously without hesitation. The larger, sharper screen also makes a big difference for reading documents, viewing spreadsheets, reviewing photos and videos, and working directly from your phone. In the camera department, the Ultra stands out not just for its hardware, but for its advanced modes and image processing. It offers shooting modes such as photo, video, portrait, pro, pro video, expert raw, portrait video, night, food, panorama, slow motion, hyperlapse, director's view, single take, and AR zone. That means more than just point and shoot. You get professional tools to control exposure, focus, color, raw files, and produce cinematic videos. In daylight, it captures exceptional detail, vibrant colors, and wide dynamic range. At night, it performs better than the other two models, handling complex lighting conditions with less noise and more shadow detail. For video, the ability to record up to 8K, along with higher frame rate options, places the Ultra in a different category. Even if you don't film in 8K often, the fact that it performs beautifully in 4K with options for 60 or 120 frames per second makes a big difference for creators producing higher quality footage, vlogs, or event videos. The 5000 mAh battery comfortably lasts a full day of heavy use. Even with its large screen and high resolution, it might not last as long as a smaller phone, but for the Ultra's target user, the balance between performance, display, and battery life is excellent. In short, the S25 Ultra is made for those who want the complete package. Maximum performance, the best display for gaming, movies, series, and sports, the S Pen for creativity and productivity, the most versatile camera system, the strongest video recording setup, and every software feature Samsung offers, all in one device, accepting its larger size as part of that trade-off. Now let's be completely honest. Between the Galaxy S25 FE, S25 Edge, and S25 Ultra, the truth is that all three are at a level where most people would have an excellent experience with any of them. They all run Genshin Impact, Call of Duty, Honkai, PUBG, Fortnite, and eFootball without problems. They all handle TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, and YouTube all day. They all take great photos for social media and record videos that are more than good enough for Reels, TikTok, Shorts, and Vlogs. And they all have high-quality screens for movies, shows, games, and YouTube. The difference is just in sharpness and immersion level. It's not a matter of one is good and another is bad. The difference lies in details: screen size, feel in the hand, camera setup, display level, and how much you're willing to invest in those differences. The S25 FE delivers around 80 to 85% of the experience of the other two, with a 6.7-inch display that's already large and comfortable, great for movies, series, and sports, solid cameras, a strong battery, and more than enough performance, all at a lower price. If your budget is tighter, or you want something big but not huge, it makes perfect sense. The S25 Edge is for those who want a little more headroom in RAM and storage, a powerful 200-megapixel main camera, and a large display with elegant curved edges that provide a more immersive feel. It's ideal for users who want extra space for apps, games, files, and photos, who care about photography, and who appreciate a premium display for streaming, sports, and YouTube, accepting the curved edge learning curve and being a bit more careful with grip. The S25 Ultra is for those who truly use everything. Heavy gaming with maxed out graphics, content creation in 4K or 8K, advanced camera modes like Expert RAW and Pro Video, the S Pen for note-taking, drawing, and editing directly on the screen, and the best display for films, series, World Cup matches, and any kind of video. It's also ideal for people with larger hands who want a phone that doubles as a mini tablet. Honestly, there's no wrong choice here. What matters is how much you want to spend, the screen size that feels comfortable in your hand, how much you care about the camera and display quality, and how much of the extra performance you'll actually use day to day. So here's what to do. Tell me in the comments your maximum budget, whether you have smaller or larger hands, and whether you care more about gaming, camera, display for movies and sports, work, or battery life. I'll take a look and reply with 2 or 3 perfect options for your case, so you can buy with confidence, without falling for hype or regretting it later. And don't forget to check the links in the description because prices change a lot during promotions. And sometimes the difference between the S25 FE, S25 Edge, and S25 Ultra ends up being much smaller than it first seems.